there everyone, Ashnflash here, and welcome on into a review and a build of the brand new set from Harry Potter, 30435. This is the Build Your Own Hogwarts Castle. You can see here on the front, there's 3 different builds. However, there's actually 8 builds to this thing. You see that on the product image of this set, so we're going to do that. We're going to make it into what you saw on the thumbnail, I hope. At least this is me recording beforehand. So, of course, there are 8 different builds, which means I needed to go out and actually get 8 of these. So, yeah, here's another 7 of them. And I drove 40 minutes each way to go and get them because none of the Toysrus near me had them. So I've recorded a ton of videos that sometimes I've never put out. Like I have a very similar video that I recorded of the Spider-Man No Way Home one, and I never recorded it. So this one, though, I drove a long way for, so I'm definitely putting this out. They also had the City Polybag and then also the classic 90-year Polybag. And the prices for these are the same, $4.94, because Toysrus has them lower. I'm not sure where you're going to find them in the US. Alright, so here's all 8 of the builds. And here's actually all 8 of the builds. This is actually following the exact same order that you see here on the instructions. Now, the instructions only give you the build for the very top one. So I had to look at this image here. You can actually look at it on the instructions app, or if you want, you can look at it online already and zoom on in. But I just looked at this and tried my best. It is called the Build Your Own Hogwarts Castle. So I had to come up with the stuff in the back. Like there's no images of like what's the pieces being used behind there. So I did my best. So we're going to go in order here, starting at the top and going clockwise. So here is the main build. This is the one that actually has instructions, and it uses almost all the parts. For some reason, I had an extra arch piece. But yeah, it's a really cute build. You could see here what this is meant to represent. This is clearly the Great Hall, as well as I think this is meant to be Dumbledore's Tower. And now, while the Technic holes don't line up, and there's no Technic pins included, this part here looks very similar to the actual build that we got from, like, this looks exactly, this is the micro scale Hogwarts here, and this is pretty much to that scale, just everything that you're getting. You can see even the bridge. I skipped ahead here. We'll take a closer look at this in a second, but this is the Ultimate Collector Series Big D2C Hogwarts Castle set that you can buy. And yeah, like, look at this here. Like, I think that's awesome that they have. You just need to buy 2 if that's all you want. They don't actually, you can connect them. You need to actually get some Technic holes, but like, look at that. I think that is absolutely incredible. The fact that they actually include that here for that to line up, I think is amazing. Like, look at the build. And just to spin it around here, this is what it looks like here. If you were curious, just from the back side of it attached, or loosely attached, but this is the back part here of the main build. Just back to this for one last second here. The actual front of the bag has it's sort of showcasing this other main build, and that sort of got me thinking, what if this is meant to be potentially an expansion to the micro scale Hogwarts? And this actually lines up pretty perfectly if you were to put the Technic holes there, and it does line up to sort of like what you would see from Hogwarts. So combining the 3 main builds here that you see actually on the front of the bag, this is what it would get you if you want to display it like this. Here's build number 2, and what's unique about this is that it has a wand piece at the very top. None of the other builds, at least from what I saw, sort of wants you to use the wand piece, so I think that's pretty neat. You've got a couple different entrances here, and I tried my best to put these holes here on the bottom just so you could continue to attach it. And here is the tallest one. Definitely, like, you get Hogwarts vibes, but I don't believe there's a tower in Hogwarts that is at all this tall in comparison to the rest. But you've got, oh yeah, these cones, they're meant to represent trees, and you've got different tops of the buildings. But yeah, it's fine. Like, it's a very tall and unique looking one, and it does add height to your castle if you really want. Quite cool. I really like the tall doorway there for that build, and just all of the verticalness here. I'm using that pattern. I think looks really great. You got some trees and stuff on the ground, but yeah, overall pretty basic. And here is that part that you saw before. I'm not sure exactly what this is meant to represent. Maybe you see this piece, I think it's a window, but also it could be like the greenhouses. But yeah, this is the third build that appears on the front of the bag that isn't a part of the micro scale version of the castle. But it's fine. I think that it's cool depending on different angles how you want to display it. And here is like the next part of the micro build, and you saw this like in the real set, the bridge. It doesn't go all the way, but it's cool how they actually were able to do that. You've got some trees there on the inside, and like that build, I think they perfectly nailed that part of the building. I think that looks great. And yeah, again, I had to make some parts up here. I'm not entirely sure if that is what's going on here in the back. I just tried to use all the parts that I could every single time. And here is this other build, and it's quite cool with like the rocks, and this almost gives me like Chamber of the Secret sort of vibe, how you can sort of enter through there. I think that's really great. Yeah, I actually really like this one. This one might be one of my favorites. I think that it just looks so unique with even this part here, the different levels of the cone pieces being used and everything. In the back again, a bit of a mess. I don't really know what's going on here. Try my best here. And here is the very final build here. And again, I actually like this little archway that it's created as well. So yeah, some of them are a lot more unique, I think, than others. Some of them feel very samey. I love how they have this, like, to make that sort of part effect there. Like, you can't even tell that's on one of the ice cream cone pieces. I think that looks really great here from the front, not so much from the back. I'm sure a lot of people are curious, how many parts do I have left over? And this is all of the parts that I have left over from the best that I could, of course, following the pictures here in the instructions. If you buy 8, this is what you will have left over. If you, of course, just buy the 1, for some reason, I had this. I'm not sure if maybe that was a mistake or not. Sometimes you get extra pieces, but I don't believe so. I think there's 3 in every single one. So, you know what else is included in every single one, of course, is the minifigures. And here's Professor Dumbledore, and I love this figure. This figure is really awesome. This is the one from the Chamber of Secrets last year, and it was for the 20-year anniversary of LEGO Harry Potter, so the color of it it's meant to be sort of this nostalgic color for the 20 years. I think that's really awesome. I love the way that looks. And I'm going to take the beard and hair off so you get a better look. This is what he looks like there without all that on. And I love the torso printing. It's so detailed. And the beard printing with the glasses is awesome. And here he's got a closed smirk there, which is great. And he's got like a hood printed here on the back. It's a really awesome figure. Also included in each of the sets is a chocolate frog trading card. This 2x2 tile. It's randomly selected, which I'll show you in a second how you could actually use this set as well to complete your collection. You also get a chocolate frog. Now, unfortunately, I've recorded them all after I open them, but I need to show you. You can actually, if you want, slide the tile here when the bag's still sealed, and you can see inside who you have and which one you need. So if you're missing Lockhart here, all you got to do is just shift all the parts around until you flip around this tile here. And it's like feeling for a minifigure series, but cheating because you could actually see inside. All right, so let's go ahead and let's try and figure this out and see if we can actually connect them all in some sort of way. Now, I already tried this upstairs. It wasn't the easiest, but I'm going to go with the main builds and go from there. Now, again, it's so difficult if you were to try and line up all the parts, so I'm just going to pretend here and just, we'll say that they all connect, but they definitely, unfortunately, do not all connect. It's not possible, and also the instructions just don't offer up a way to do that. But this looks awesome. I think this looks really great. It's a little very green and coney there, you could sort of see, but overall, I really think that this is cool if you want to get that. Again, I would maybe recommend only getting the 3. The 3 here in the front, the 3 builds, I think they look the greatest in my opinion. But then you're also getting all these Dumbledore figures if you want to turn around and sell them for people who may not know that this polybag exists. Yeah, anyways, what do you think of this? I think that this is a really fun set. At the time of recording this, the other 7 versions are not listed for instructions, but if they are, I hope they do at least the other 2 main ones. I really recommend getting those 3 because it's looks pretty good, I think. But overall, crazy. If you just keep getting more as well, it'll look even crazier. But I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Hope you all have a great day. We'll see you all in the next one.